All right, I'm gonna pull out my catechism. I know in just 6 weeks I'm gonna be voting. I'm trying to check out who the catechism tells me to vote for. I'm sure that the church, or maybe I'll find out what the Pope tells me to vote for. I don't know. Well, how does it work? Is that the way that we approach voting? First of all, voting, the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops states that we have a civic duty, we have a moral responsibility to participate in society. And one of those ways that we participate is to exercising our right to vote. So I think, first of all, that's super important. It's not enough to say, I don't really care. We can't change anything. That's not good enough. Like, we have a responsibility because we are members of this society. And so we participate and our choices matter. When it comes to voting, I think what it's important to keep in mind is, like, we have to apply our conscience. It's an act of conscience, and conscience is not just merely what I think's right and wrong, right? Conscience has two aspects. One is, like, I have to know what the general truths are, the general truths about the dignity of the human person. For example, the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops states that the preeminent issue, the preeminent good, is the right to life, particularly of the unborn. So it says preeminent, and more important than the others, but not to the exclusion of others, that you don't consider others, right? But it's preeminent. So you have to, like, what does that mean, right? So I have to know that. It's in theology, it's called speculative knowledge. I have to know these concepts, right? But that's not enough to, like, help me to know what to vote. Then I have to take that knowledge and apply it to these particular situations, circumstances, which are hard to navigate, very hard to navigate, very hard to negotiate. And so what conscience is a cognitive act. Okay, I want to exercise my conscience in my right to vote, where I take these general moral truths. Many of them I learned in the catechism, especially in the area of the commandments, right? The hierarchy of truths, the hierarchy of goods. And I take those and I apply it to the unique, particular circumstances that I find myself in as a Kansan from Wichita, and this presidential election, these positions, and I'm the only one that can make an act of conscience for myself. The Pope can't make it. The Pope made some comments about, like, his thoughts on the candidates, but he said, I'm not American, I can't vote. He can't make an act of conscience in voting because he's not an American. And so he can make statements about general moral truths, right? The dignity of the human person, but the act of conscience has to come from each one of us individually, particularly, specifically. And so that means we have some work to do. Probably all of us, it would be good, even if we're learned, to kind of go back and make sure that we're formed well, our thought is formed well, so that we can apply those truths of the human person and God, in light of God's plan, to this particular election happening in 6 weeks. So I hope that's helpful.